break. Happy Friday. Yeah, that's what today is. Friday. I gotta get used to this. I Let me see. Is it done yet? 2 minutes left. Okay. Um, Coloring in Magical Jungle, and I just realized, you know what? I think that's the other video I did earlier this week. I have on there Lost Ocean. Um, and I need to change the title. But in the meantime, okay, I need some lotion. Just wash dishes. Oh, I need some lotion on my hands. I also need to kind of give myself a little manicure this weekend too. Some of my nails are getting a little, my thumbnails are getting, I don't know, snaggy. Some kind of little thing in there, little dip. Okay. Can't forget to take care of my nails, my cuticles mostly. They get so ratchet. Especially, especially when my nails are short, it seems like they get really. Because I guess I'm not paying attention to them as much or something. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna color. I don't know how much I'm gonna talk, but I may put some music on. It seemed to go well last time. I listened a little bit of the video I did the other day just to see how the sound was, and it seemed okay. So I feel encouraged to do that again. I can do that again. And let's see. Yeah, I like this blue. I do. I made dinner earlier. I made some more pad thai. I'm still trying to get the addition of the noodles right. Well, I know what I didn't do because I was afraid I would mess it up, and I just didn't have the patience to do it because you're supposed to. And then I had to come back to like read how you're supposed to do it. Like you're supposed to put like hot water or something on them for like soak them in hot water for like just a couple minutes and then put them in the pan. I was like, I ain't got time for all that. I threw them in the pan and I figured there was enough liquid in the pan, even though it wasn't liquidy, but from the vegetables and stuff. I figured the steam would cook them through, and it did, but like, then I'm trying to separate the noodles and things, and yeah, that ridiculous. So next time, we will get the noodles right. But what I know I did get right this time was making the sauce. Before making the sauce instead of just pouring all the ingredients of the sauce in the pan. So I got that part right. And I finally opened my package of tamarind, which tamarind paste. It comes like in a block. So I was happy about that too. But I learned something from the tamarind paste too, that I need to actually put the tamarind paste in a little bit of hot water first and let it dissolve. And who knows, I might even need to do that overnight because it was hard breaking down that paste. So I know that for next time. That and the noodles, I got to get it right. But the flavor of the sauce is good. I'm probably gonna sprinkle some red pepper flakes on top of mine because I didn't put any um, chili flakes or anything in it, and I could have, but I didn't feel like I was agile enough in the kitchen to do that and not overdo it. So I says, nah, we can add that later. So I don't make it so that it's like burning our mouths off and we can't even eat it. And I learned from a viewer, they left me a message that this is an okapi or okapi. I was like, yes, that's it. I knew it was one of those weird names or something like that, and I just, oh man, I couldn't find it. So the colors are kind of off for what that's supposed to be, but okay, we're just gonna roll with it because I'm not changing it now, but at least I know. So thank you for that, the person who shared that. Oh, are these supposed to be white? I think they're actually supposed to be white. Oh well. Acrylic pen. That solves everything. We need to do that. Probably gonna go in and put some white around some of these things anyway, to kind of like keep it a little bit in keeping with what they really look like. I think that would be nice. Okie dokie. So yeah, the face is supposed to be white, and that's what I kept thinking as I was looking at this. Like, whatever this animal is, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like white or something on his face. So, might be like the last thing I do. Kind of tweak it to look more like the real thing. Anyway, as I flip through this book, I'm looking at a lot of pages like, oh, that's nice, that's nice. And I still need to resolve my, trying to fill in space kind of thing. But we're going to get there. We are going to get there. So there was a time when I, was overwhelmed by a Kirby page and didn't know how to color it. And certain ones of them that were really hard to like figure out, like, what do I do with that? And I now can like deal with them. So, I'll get there with the filling in spaces on Johanna Basford pages. I will get there. Two little flowers, and I said I wasn't going to use any. I'm not going to use. I'm trying not to use any yellow. That's kind of like my goal. I love yellow, so like it's not against yellow. It's because I probably use too much yellow. I want to limit. I want to limit the palette at least a little bit on this. Yeah, I don't have any orange either, and I'm going to try and stay away from yellow and orange. I'm not allowed. Not allowing myself to do that. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Kind of like that chirper. Kind of in the mood to work with water today. I've been feeling that, but my desk is not in shape for working with water. So, who knows? I may do something, work on my desk tonight so that I can work in water tomorrow. Don't hold me to it though. And I want to try and stream me playing Sims Medieval. But yeah, I have some logistics to work out with that because the computer that has that on it, I don't have OBS on it. What is that? OBS Studio, whatever the heck that thing is called. And so, yeah, that's going to add extra work that I got to do to like make that happen. And I don't know if I'm up to all that because got a lot of other things to do. But I might do that. Mm-hmm. So what do we want to do with more red? Going to town with this red. Carmine red. Yep, carmine red. And I'm on a 14-day streak with my French, which is good. And I actually opened up and downloaded and opened up the app on my iPad, and I actually really like how it is on the iPad. Better than on my computer, better than on my phone. I really like it. The interface is much more pleasant on there, so that I actually found something that I didn't know existed, and there were past lessons that like I had thought I had completed them, but I guess I don't know, somehow in there's portions of them where I didn't, so it's showing percentages. And so I went back and did those yesterday. And I have a few more to do. And I don't know if it's because they added those after, they were new additions to the lessons after I had completed those, like a year later or something. Maybe they added those to it. That might be what happened, but still, I'm going back to do those. It's kind of a good refresher, too. I think I need to go through and kind of like practice all of the verbs because I'm kind of forgetting some of the verbs that I already had learned. I'm kind of forgetting them and their conjugations. And yeah, I need to go back to some of those or write down a list of them or something. I gotta figure out something with it. I just have always wanted to know how to speak French. I don't know. I just felt like it was always important to know at least one of the other most commonly spoken languages in the world. And because there's so many, I picked French, I don't know. Well, I picked French because there are writers and stuff that I read that their original work is in French, and thought it would be nice to read them in the original language. To be able to. But also, there's a lot of African nations that actually French is one of their official languages. So, and when I watch movies, I actually do watch I used to watch a lot of French films. And be nice to watch them without the subtitles, although I'd still probably have the subtitles on because I put subtitles on American movies these days because sometimes I just don't know what they're saying or my attention's divided, or I don't know. Okay, the bottom's done. Should I have white in here? Nah, I'm gonna make these purple. I'm gonna color them now so I'm not tempted to make them yellow. So we're gonna do them right now. You gotta think about a background for this. Or I might leave it. I don't know. Kind of would like it to look like a jungle back there. But I don't know if they have the brain matter to be able to do it right now. I really do feel kind of freed being able to just come back to a page after a couple of years or whatever, when my skill level has increased, to be able to do what I wasn't able to do when I first started working on the page. I feel much freer to be able to do that now, which I like. No rush to get it done. Wait until you know more. Had a couple meetings for work today, and one was a no-show. So I was like, okay. But the other one was, they were both short, but the first one was productive. I think the other one might have been scheduled by mistake. Hmm. I did want to do something with this. It's small enough to blend it. I was looking at the list of my my watch list in Prime Video. There's a lot of stuff on there. So I was going through there. So I think I want to watch something from there tonight, or at least this weekend. And I have some things to take off of it that I've already watched. Hey, TaylorMade. Oh, that is just incredibly sad. Um, I actually uploaded the conversation about it. I find it odd, but I uploaded, not uploaded, I shared a video today by Stephen Hassan where he was talking about it, and I thought a lot of the things he was saying was on point. And I thanked him for for his video on it. I thanked him underneath it because I was like, that's you're on point. It's interesting to see where um, media, I don't know how to say this, just where certain conversations go when somebody who is transgender is involved. It's always like, that becomes the big deal. And all transgender people are not the same. Like, I don't know what, that even sounds stupid for me to say that, honestly. But it seems like in some aspects it has to be said because people don't get it. That, like, all people are not the same. It's like just because they share one particular um aspect of their identity or whatever with a group of people, it doesn't make them all the same. It's like all little people are not the same. All transgender people are not the same. All black people are not the same. All Mexicans are not the same. All people who are in wheelchairs are not the same. You know what I mean? It's like there are some people who are in wheelchairs who are mean. And there are some people who are in wheelchairs, like Johnny Erickson Tata, who's somebody that I've followed since I was a teenager, who are wonderful. So it's like, I don't know. This whole and people want you to get wrapped up and tied up into this thinking where you start looking at people as objects instead of people. And I refuse that. In the name of Jesus, I refuse that. Everyone is fearfully and wonderfully made. As a Christian, that's what I believe. And even like if I weren't a Christian, I would still honor and respect the individual and the human being. But yeah, sometimes just, some of these conversations are ridiculous. And I wonder why people always think it has to be a rigid either or, when the world in every single day is full of so many grays beyond among the black and white. I don't know. Yeah, I think, yeah, and that's what it sounds like. The person was suffering from depression and whatever else. Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it's long, long ago. I mean, I have good friends who actually we were friends before they were married and everything, and they had children, and they have friends who were killed in the Sandy Hook shooting. And now, of course, like they're graduated from high school and stuff. So, yeah, to have, yeah, it's been long overdue that the whole thing with the guns should be like taken care of, but because people don't want to see right. They want to see their money. They want to see their money. That's a lot of it. And that's it. Don't mess with my money. I don't care if kids die. Don't mess with my money. And then some of those same people are talking about abortion and taking away all rights to get one, even like for the safety of the child or the safety of the mother, um, the life of the mother. Um, those same people they don't care about the baby. They don't care about the baby because they also they don't care about that baby having good health care. They don't care about that baby um, having a good education. They don't care about that baby not getting shot up in a school when they get to be school age. They don't care. But people buy the people buy the rhetoric, and we have to stop doing that. We have to stop buying into the rhetoric and look at what's real, and look behind the curtain of how they're trying to bait people with certain, punch words, certain words that are loaded with emotion, like abortion. Abortion's like horrible, but so are a lot of other things, and like it's not like, yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. Um, I mean, yeah, we have to stop getting trumped up, no pun intended, by the loaded words, and look at what's real. Uh, so I kind of like haven't been listening to too much of the conversation with it because I'm just feeling really bad for those parents, and bad for the fact that you can't even send your kid to school. And you can't send your kid to a Christian school or Catholic school and have them be safe. You can't send them to a church and have them be safe for a number of reasons. And yeah, but that's why I was really yesterday morning before I went to work, I'm contemplating Psalm 55, and it just like stayed in in my mind and my spirit, and it's I'm probably going to be meditating on it all weekend because it really was like I was like, oh, um it really. And I know, like, we see all kinds of things swirling around us and happening around us, but you know what God says is what God says. And like in Psalm 55, the whole psalm is really good, but and it just seemed applicable to where we are now. And like, when I'm wondering, like, how am I going to start my day with all this going on, and how it's affecting all the people I work with and everything else. And Psalm 55 verses 22 and 23 says, cast your burden upon the Lord and he will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be shaken, but you, God, will bring them down, the evil and the wicked will bring them down to the pit of destruction. Men of bloodshed and deceit will not live out half their days, but I will trust in you. And I just really felt that yesterday morning. Um, that, yeah, the road might be rough. There might be crazy things we have to navigate. But I think back to like um, Acts, what is it, Acts chapter 27, and with Paul when he had to be brought before Caesar, and like, all the stuff that was happening while he was trying to get to Caesar. Like he was already going for something that, was kind of like, it's not like a great event, but it actually was because he got to witness basically to Caesar, which was, I guess, was one of the goals or something. But being shipwrecked and him telling the people, because he heard from the Lord told me that we're going to be okay. Despite this crazy storm, we're going to be all right. And I think there were two people that jumped off the boat or whatever because they were like, and so they died when they didn't have to because they did make it. Right. But then even still, they made it even though I think the people doing the boat didn't totally follow what he said, but God still made sure they got there. And I feel like it's that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, it might be kind of rough, but just remember, God said you're going to get there. You are going to be presented before Caesar. There's no doubt about it. Don't worry about it. Um, so that helps you to endure the cray cray that's going on around you. And I feel like that's the piece that God put me in yesterday. that he'll let me know when I need to be concerned about something. And when I do need to be concerned about something, don't worry about it. Just just listen, you know. And the wicked have their day, and they have throughout history. And so I'm just praying that they see him and submit to him so they don't, you know, go to an ultimate destruction, and maybe give relief to the oppressed. But if they don't, they, you know, they have the same choice that I have. I can obey or I cannot obey. So if they don't obey, they get what they get. I don't know. But I'm praying that they will obey until God tells me, yeah, don't pray for them no more. Leave them alone. And these are not people I like. Let me tell you that. They're not people I like. But I know that they're people that Jesus died for. And he laid his own body and well-being. And he went through trauma, physical, emotional, spiritual, for all of us. And so I have no right to not, you know, to be cursing, you know, these people. So I pray that they hear. I'm kind of praying they get that kind of Nebuchadnezzar writing on the wall thing, like that dramatic. If that's what it takes, if that would turn them and turn their hearts, I pray that it would be that dramatic. But, you know, there are people who will always choose other. And in the meantime, I fight the fight against their evil deeds. And in the meantime, we may have allies who are from unlikely places, and that's all right too. I really like listening to Dr. Stephen Hassan, because he knows a lot. And that's an example of somebody who took his misfortune and ignorance and turned it into something that blesses so many people. Because he used to be in the Moonies cult. And yes, he just, he's such a blessing. He really is. I don't know what faith or anything he is. I don't know, but he is a critical thinker, and and he's on point. He's not somebody who hides from facts. And he's also like a psychologist, and what did he say? He's also does some kind of like forensic psychology, I think. I love listening to him though. And I don't know, I just love listening to him. And he happened to cross over and like actually was on the a YouTube show of someone else, something else I've been watching since like last winter or this past winter. Leaving the message, which kind of opened my eyes about a lot of things in that I came across as a Christian, like as a teenager and then young adult. Um, and well, still, and now I think of it young adult in my 30s too, in my 30s as well. and it's like made everything come together for me. Why I did not, I don't, and there was nothing dramatic about it, but my spirit was not connecting with certain things, and it was like, nope, I'm going, and I never even really said it out loud or anything. I just like, I'm not feeling that. My spirit said I'm not feeling that, and I went somewhere else. I went another direction or away from that. Even when some of my friends were really getting into it, and my good close friends, I was like, no, no, you know, we'll do other things, but I'm not going there to that thing because I don't get it. It's not computing for me, and I didn't realize it wasn't computing in my spirit. Like Holy Spirit was saying no, and he didn't have to go that hard with it because like I wasn't about that. Um, yeah, and a lot of things about Christian history that I like evangelical and Pentecostal history that I had learned from certain areas, and finding out some of the um, more about that and its relationship to some excuse me, particularly to this guy William Branham and his influence. And my mind was just blown. It's like this, like really like web of like 6 degrees of separation, not even 6 degrees, and sometimes it's one. Um, that just has been blowing my mind over the past few months. But I think this was the time that God wanted me to know and wanted this to be known. And it's kind of interesting. It's like, okay. And its connection to politics and the politics in our country today, there's a connection there as well. And I'm kind of hoping that this channel leaving the message, that somehow they will bring in or find or locate the connection there to a lot of African American denominations, in particular Kojic, because there is definitely a connection. And so I'm hoping somebody is listening to him who's been a part of that tradition, who can bring in that part of it, because I know it's all connected. I'm just not the one to do it, because I really, like, my mother went to a Kojic church for a while, but originally we were like on one side of my family, my grandparents were Seventh Day Adventists, and then on the other side, um, um, kind of AME Zion, AME, which is Methodist, African Methodist, Episcopal, whatever. And then I grew up in part Presbyterian, and then in the other part, I grew up in a Pentecostal church, like like white Pentecostal church. So, but I did attend church of um my grandfather went to a Black Baptist church, so I also did go there. That was the most fun church to go to. And then I didn't like going to my grandmother's church, the AME church, because that was kind of boring. They were boring. I liked going to the Presbyterian church because I liked singing the hymns out of the book. So, what color? I kind of feel like I want these to be green because anything else is going to be like too much. So, because they're big. So, and it's interesting because for a long time, I kind of just stayed out of the chat of those leaving the message videos. And just a couple weeks ago, I started talking more, and it's pretty cool because I thought, well, like nobody else knows these people that like I'm talking about or whatever, and some musicians, and made a connection with somebody there. He knows everybody I was talking about. And this one guy who actually he died last year, Michael Knott. I love that music, his music. He's a truth teller, and like for the longest time, um longest time that music like that wasn't really seen as acceptable in the church or whatever, which was just, whatever. And he just kept making music. He had his own label, Blonde Vinyl, where he would have artists that do, kind of what was considered then alternative music. He would have them on his label. Um, and he had done this one recording. I have a lot of his recordings, but he did this one called The Grape Prophet. Grape like grapes you eat. And it turns out it was an allegory for something that was going on in the church, in particular the California and the Midwest at that time. And it was really, I don't know what happened. I wish I could find out more of the history of him making that recording. But I found out about something that was going on in the church then that I wasn't near, and I didn't even realize that where I was going to church and stuff on the East Coast was actually affected by it. But now with watching Leaving the Message videos, now I realize, oh, it was. I don't know, I don't know, these strange pieces that are coming together from me watching those videos and being in those chats. And so I was talking with this other person about Michael Knott, and they knew who he was, and okay, it was done from there because um, that was kind of my era of being around particular musicians of that ilk, and kind of being a part of that industry too, actually. Um, and I was in a band, and I refused. I did. It's pretty funny. Most people in a band, they're praying they get signed. I was praying we wouldn't. It's like, no, 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 no. It just, for some reason, my spirit was like, no. Um, I don't even know. I can't even, something in my spirit just said no. A big fat no. So when we had some label interests at one time, and I was just praying it would fall through, while the rest of the band members were like, oh, well, we got to send this and we got to do this. I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead. The whole time I was praying, please don't let anything happen from this. Because if it didn't stop at that point, it probably would stop when I started having a conversation with them. I'll be side-eyeing them the whole way and say, I don't think so. Well, I never told that story before. Yeah, there were some weird things going around. Like, even like the thing that just recently came out about Michael Tate from DC Talk. Yeah, there were vibes of certain things around certain people in the industry that you're like, what, huh? And it made me know that, you know what, I would be better off just being in the secular music industry than being with y'all. It's just like, I don't know. And it's almost like I think they would respect my boundaries better outside of the CCM industry than you all would. It's just kind of just weird. I just always had weird vibe from, but and that's not from everybody in there because there's a lot of good people that are in that industry. Some of them still doing music. And Michael Knott I never met him, but just a lot of people with honesty and fortitude. And it just seems like once you slap business on something, it turns to crap. And I never wanted anybody telling me what I can sing, what I can say, How many Jesuses you need to put in your song? That's very insincere. And so I actually was aiming for, if, and I wasn't even aiming to get signed. It's like, if we were to get signed, I'd rather get signed by a secular label, and I'd rather it be small. I don't like the music industry at all, to be honest. And I don't do music for that. If God opened the door, then I'd know there was something very particular I had to do, but I think He knew I didn't, mm-mm. It would have to be totally on my terms, and that's why I admire people like Ian McKay from Minor Threat, and people from what do you call it? Who else? I admire the people that stand by their art, no matter what the financial loss that might incur, or the lack of financial gain that might incur. Yep, I was, because it wouldn't have been good for any of us. It would not have been good. It would not. Would not. And so I was like, nope. How this began is how it needs to stay. And if anything is going to disrupt that, then nope, don't want it. And the thing is, I knew some people in the industry that if I wanted to, I could have pushed for certain things to happen. But I know, one going anywhere that God didn't want me to go, and being around anybody God didn't want me to be around. And where your heart is what leads your decisions. And I didn't want anybody turning my heart. So I'd rather be in my little old house in the country than be out there going through what some of them people are going through right now. And I don't necessarily think that I kind of, to be honest, I kind of know I'm not done doing music, although it seems very unlikely right now, but I know I'm not done doing music, but I'm not going to pick it up until God says to pick it up. When it's time, I'll know. But I really don't like where the industry is right now. It just looks like total trash. I'm one of those people, I tend to like things small anyway. I don't like a big to do or anything like that. Well, actually, I did quit, but I kind of was the leader of it, so but I did leave eventually, but it was long after that label thing. But just imagine that, like, uh, when you are when you're signed to, a label, you're basically married to all of those people. It's a contract. And I knew we were not ready for that. And we weren't ready for the kinds of things that labels will pose to you. You're like all eager and everything in the beginning because, oh, yeah, we're signed and we're going to tour and we're going to do this. You'll be all excited about it and not really see. And I knew for me that would have been torture because I would really be able to see. And I'd have to be trying to convince them. And they might not listen to me. And I would be tied to them in a contract. And that sounded like hell to me. I did eventually leave because our effort, what we were together for, it seemed like there was a certain point where it was like, okay, for me, it was like, okay, this is done now for me. And whatever happens to it happens, but for me, this is done. And so I left. And it was hard because I kind of knew it wouldn't really, after I left, it really wouldn't do much. Not, yeah, that's all I can say. I just, but if it did, I would be happy for them. But I kind of had the feeling that the time was just over. It was a moment and the time was over. And so I did leave and I says, basically you all can do what you're going to do. But I think I really feel God telling me like I need to go on and do some other stuff, do something else. Um, and they did keep going. And I think every once in a while they do. Because I told them, I said, I have no problem with you going ahead doing things under that name or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. It's just if you record anything, make sure that I get the writing credits for whatever I wrote. And then, well, my best friend died in 2022. Yeah. And he was the drummer in the band. And we were close. And he wound up leaving too because he actually went to seminary and came back, and he had his own band, which I did go to see sometimes, and I have his recordings. But yeah, once like they asked me sometimes when they wanted to do something like a reunion thing or whatever, I was like, no, no. For me, when it's done, it's done. That's it. I don't go backwards. I don't go backwards. And we were not the Rolling Stones, so like I ain't going back. Not going backwards. I don't know if I can hit those notes anymore. I love this green light pencil. I really do. As much as I love the white pencil. They just do something. I like that light yellow, that pale yellow pencil like that too. All the pale ones, they just have, I don't know. The pale Prismacolors rock. So when I left at that time, I was wondering because I was like, okay, God, well, so this is done now. What do you want me to do? And I had been thinking about well, I just started asking questions. What should I do? What do you want me to do? And one of the things I wrote, was thinking about, well, I don't know, should I move to Nashville and just get into songwriting and just do that? Or then going back to school came into play because I really didn't have college. I went to a fashion design school for a little while, but it was mostly to be with my sister to get her away from this knucklehead she was married to. And I knew if I was down there, she would. Yeah, I'm telling all my life now. Anyway, I knew if I was down there with her, she would have the courage to leave. And so I just basically went to that college just to be with her so she would have courage to leave. And she did. No, I didn't lose it because it's funny. I sing all the time at home and stuff, and actually write songs too all the time too. But it's just this thing. I really, it's so tied to my, I don't know, it's really tied to my relationship with God that I won't, I personally can't do it. I feel it's like, I don't want to unless he's saying, yep, go out there and do it. And I mean, like even secular music, because I played in bands and played in bars and things, and because I knew I needed to be there. And there were people that I was in the bands with that got saved when, and I knew that was where I needed to be then. You know what I mean? So I could be around those people so I could talk to them about the Lord and help them through their early walk and whatever. And when the time's up, then, it's like, it's no longer for me to be there. Then I go, I'm gone. And so, yeah, and then that happened, and then I didn't do music for a while, and then it came up where God says, okay, it's time again. So, and then I wound up in that band, which was really fun, and we made some really good music. um, Probably, and it is, they say that it was like the best band that they'd been in ever. And musically, and I say that myself, it was for me too. That really was a blessing. It really was. Did something we were proud of, even though I had to fight sometimes. I kept telling them at that time, CDs were coming out, and I kept telling them, this is, we need to get digital quality recording. And they kept wanting to do it themselves, like, geeks with technical stuff or whatever. I was like, no, we need to get a professional recording. The material is good enough for that. This, because in digital stuff, it's gonna last forever, and that's when like CDs were just coming out, and they wouldn't listen to me. They didn't listen to me for the first one, but then they did for the second one. And I don't even know where mine are. Don't know where they are. I think my husband has them. I have to ask him, because then I find out he's given a recording to some people and I don't even know it. And then they say, oh, I heard you. And I look at him like, oh, you got that? I don't have to pay attention to it at all. I really don't, because it's like, it is what it is. But I love music. I do. And I miss being in a band, and I miss um making music like that. I don't know that I don't exactly miss performing because I don't really like being in front of people. And in a way, I got to do that for work. So I think God has me doing it anyway, whether I like it or not. Um, but I do like sharing music with people, but I'm not that big on being in front of people. Like me and my friend, the drummer, we always used to joke because he wanted to be seen. I was like, okay, we really need to change places. So when he had his own band, he actually was the front person, which was really cool. And he wasn't playing drums. Somebody else was playing drums and he was playing guitar. Big green leaves. Big I feel like they need some texture in there. So yeah, I do want recently and I'm just kind of taking it slow, but I feel like I need to get a new piano that is relatively new, you know. Um because I just want to play. And I did see that one. Actually, I saw one on Facebook Marketplace that actually is at it's a used piano that was put on there by a piano dealer, like a reputable piano dealer in our area, and I kind of want to go and talk to them. I don't know if that piano is the one for me, but they might be the people I get my next piano from. And so I'm just kind of like taking it because, like, even that, like, I just leave it up to the Lord. I'm not running out to go and get it or nothing. I want the one that He wants me to have in the time that He wants me to have it. Because just like with the band, He's going to bring, and every time I've had an experience with doing music, He's going to bring it back in His time. And I don't want to overstep that because that connection I sing out of, I don't know, it's like no matter what kind of music I'm doing, I do it out of my relationship with the Lord. So it's just so deeply connected that I can't, I don't know, I can't do it unless I know He's saying, yeah, it's time. Because I expect more to, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know. Okay, I almost feel like this needs some texture inside. But I'm scared. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. Should it be dark green on the outside? I'm going to make it dark green. At least a little dark green. Well, that was a whole lot of talking. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I think that's supposed to be green. So I made that pad thai and I don't even really want to eat it. It smells good though. My husband just got a big heaping bowl of it. Um, and it's got a lot of veggies in there because I put cubed butternut squash and cubed zucchini squash in it and cabbage. So it's got a whole lot of vegetables. But well, in part it's because that that one tooth that lost the bracket. Well, they got it definitely hunkered down because it hurts. And it hurts when I press down on it, to chew anything. So I can't really chew. So not on that side. I got to chew on the other side, but then the other side has a tooth that I have to get the implants, that space for that. So I don't get a full, you know, it's weird trying to chew. That's another reason I got to well, kind of wait on the piano or kind of keep my ears open because I'm going to have to pay for that implant. And I have money saved back for that plus, but still, I don't even know if they're going to need to do another bone graft because it's been so long since I had the bone graft that I thought I just was going to replace that tooth. And then it turned out, oh, if you want orthodontia, you're going to need to get it before that. And then it turned into this whole almost 2 year adventure. So I just don't want to, I want to have some, you know, still have my good cushion. Plus, after buying a piano and getting the implant, I still want to have my cushion there. So, but I've decided the next piano I get has to be a good one. It's not somebody, just somebody's throwaway. It needs to be a good one. Um, well, no. And I'm not sure why, but it's like in the back. It's like in the back. So it's like I don't know, is it a molar or something like that? I don't know. It's in the back. Um, and I lost that tooth because the interim dentist that I had that I think just took the practice to have a tax write off because I don't think he ever intended to stay. He took over that practice from somebody who'd been there for oh man, was he there for 40 years or something like that and retired? And no, it was the next one after that because the the one that had that practice, he forever and ever and ever, he gave it to someone else who like was really good. She was really good, and she used to have her lab there too, like kind of as a comfort dog for some of the patients. But yeah, she was excellent, excellent replacement with just the same amount of attention to detail and everything. But then I think it was like during COVID or whatever, and she got an opening for a practice that was like closer to her home, and it was another female dentist, and just the whole thing of it, she really, it was like a chance she couldn't pass up. So she wound up leaving, and then the interim dentist that came, I think he just came to like be able to write this off on his books or something. And he was not paying attention to the fact that my teeth were crowding and that would pose a problem. And I didn't notice that my teeth were crowding, but there were things that I did notice, and I would talk to them about it, and he would brush it off. Hey, Vibrant Low. Yeah, I'm looking forward to mine just so I can like my bite can be back and I can really eat things. Um, so what happened because my teeth crowded? Um, I actually had a tooth that broke. It broke three ways. It was a three-way break, and it did that down to the root. And I was walking around with that for months. I had gone to have my teeth cleaned, and they didn't even see it. Like, how could you not see that? Especially when you take x-rays. It was awful because I went there, and also like I had gone to like urgent care here twice because my I thought I had an ear infection at first, and so I went there then, and then it was getting worse. I was like, my whole left side of my face is like numb. And then when I was at the dentist, because I have a dentist appointment, and then they didn't see anything, and then they were trying to tell me, oh, you need a root canal on your very back tooth, so you need to find somebody that can do a root canal. So I had to go and find somebody to do that, which like it took. Then it was a couple months before that appointment. Blessings to the man who did who the root canal guy, because he was like, well, you don't need a root canal. He goes, that tooth back there is fine. He goes, that's just discoloration. And he was like so concerned that of what was bothering me. He goes, and he was saying, there's something with this tooth. He was saying that was more, like in the middle of the left side. He goes, there's something going on with that one, it looks like. And he asked me, he goes, do you want me to take um x-rays of that, and then I can send them back to your dentist? And he goes, there's no charge. That he was such a blessing that I took his cards. I took a bunch of his cards. I took a pad of his that, like you can share with the dentist office. I took them all back and I took them to my dentist. You need to promote this guy. You need to give out these things because he's a keeper. Um, so he goes, yeah, that tooth, that's the tooth that's the problem. He goes, it's broken in like three places. And so then I had to schedule an appointment with somebody to extract it. And that's how I wound up with on the whole implant thing. And I was doing research about it and everything. And um, I didn't have an abscess, which was kind of, I don't know how any of that works. I was walking around for like 3 months with an infected tooth and didn't know. All I knew was I couldn't chew on that side. My hearing was messed up, and my face was numb on that side. It took them that long to find it. And it was just ridiculous, an ordeal. And I'm really ready for the ordeal to be over. But we're getting close. We're getting close. Yeah, so you said, okay. Uh, oh, wow. But what threw me was that they were telling me, my dentist was telling me that I needed a root canal on a back tooth that basically only had discoloration on it. There was nothing wrong with it. And where the problem was, and I was telling them I was having problems with my nose, my eye was bothering me, my ear was bothering me. I don't know. It really bugged me. He's not there anymore, though. He left that practice, thank goodness. And now we have somebody good again. Oh, really? Okay. I don't mind. That guy is good. The surgeon that I went to that I started the whole implant process with, he's really good. He's thorough. He like tells you everything. So um yeah, and then I was trying to find who was the person that, because I guess he puts in the screw, and then somebody else has to put in the implant, the actual prosthesis, I mean. So, okay. Yeah. And I decided on the implant because as I started reading about it, like it's like I was getting terrified. I was like um about like your gums and causing like the collapse or whatever. I was like, oh my God. I was like, no, no, I need something there. And because my teeth in back aren't strong enough, and I had to have a couple of them extracted in the very back, and my mouth is kind of small. So it seemed to me the best option was to get an implant, um because I don't really have anything that in back that the other thing could hook onto very well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I've been saving my money to get ready for it. So, and I paid for my braces up front because I said, let's just pay it all now. I got it now. Let's just pay it all now. So that's the good part of that. So implant and a piano. That's what I'm saving my pennies for. Yeah. So that whole like jaw or whatever collapsing or that freaked me out. It's like I'm not letting that happen. No way. But yeah, so now I tell people, it says, just remember your teeth move as you get older. It's not your imagination. If your bite keeps changing, they really do move. So, because that's what was happening with me, and I didn't realize it. I just was so busy and everything. I just didn't notice it. Ah, okay. Yeah, the problem is one thing, I don't know if I'm gonna need another bone graft because um I didn't realize I was gonna get orthodontia or I needed to get it until that didn't fully register for me until um I was looking into more of what had just happened over the previous months and analyzing it. So if I had known it, well, maybe it was still good that I think the Lord worked it out. I think it probably still needed that bone graft anyway. So either way, let's just see what happens. I mean, it might be a drag to have paid for two, to paid for one and then need another one, but either way, it might have prevented something else from happening in between times. So I'm just glad that the Lord made provision for it. Oh wow. Ooh, sinus lift. Ooh, Lord. Ooh, ooh. Did they do that at the oral surgeon, the sinus lift? Ooh. Well, I like the sound of that. It's making me feel funny. Holding my mouth, put my hand in my mouth. Ooh. Well, I was at the point where they said it was like because it was after my bone, I went for my bone graft to be healed, to check to make sure it was healed, and they were ready for the next step. That then all of a sudden it was like, okay, yeah, I need to get my orthodontia work now. But the good part is they're right next to each other, so that was kind of good. And I think I told the story about that too, how strange that was. That it really was the Lord that really was directing everything. Oh, yeah. Yeah, her new car, right? Ooh, child. Yeah. So tell your kids if they have braces, if they got braces and got them off, they really need to wear that retainer. Wear your retainer. And I swear I'm going to be wearing mine. They told me I'm going to get one that's actually going to get put in there, like that's going to, be attached to my teeth. And then I'm going to have one that I'll also have to wear, put in at night. Let me tell you, I'm going to be doing that. I'm not going to forget. But the interesting thing was, it's kind of like it was on my mind. I was thinking about orthodontia to get some before this whole thing happened with that tooth cracking in 3 places. And so I was just kind of like every once in a while doing some research on it and everything. And when I had asked for an estimate, where I'm going now was one place I had asked for an estimate, and I never heard back from them. And I thought that was so weird. But, then it was just something I was kind of dallying with and not serious about. So I thought, well, whatever. And then a few months later, this thing happened with my tooth, and I went through that whole thing with the visit to the endodontist, and then going back and find out it needed to be extracted, and going to the get it extracted, going to the oral surgeon. I find out the oral surgeon is right next to that orthodontist that I tried to contact that never got back to me. It's like right next door. They're in the same building. One door is this one door is that one. And so I actually went in to the orthodontist office after visiting the oral surgeon for like a checkup or whatever on what they had done. I got right in to be able to make an appointment for a consultation right there, when like 6 months earlier, they, nothing happened. So it's kind of like it was a setup in a good way. That was really wild. And I guess it just let me know that, yeah, I am supposed to get this done. This is what I'm supposed to do. We're really close. That's what the orthodontist said. Really close to these coming off. Okay, what color are we doing these? I almost want to make these green too, but I don't know. I feel like these need to be pink. Let me do these first. So I go back on September 8th, and that's when they'll see if this one little number 4 on the bottom right is where they want it to be, and number 6 on the bottom left is where they want it to be. But he said, oh yeah, he goes, it's really close. So we're on home stretch now. He goes, I know I took a little longer than we had planned, but, and I told him, don't worry about it, because I just want it to be right. I was just thinking last night that I don't know, I want to send them something when this is all done. The people in the office, because they're a lot of fun. They're nice people. Send them some kind of a basket. Fruit. One of those fruit arrangements or something. I don't know. Send them something. I should make these different. What time is it? Ooh, 5. I want to eat something before 6. They do have tuna fish. Tuna fish is soft. I can have another smoothie. So I had for breakfast. It was really good. I don't know why I said it like that, but that what was it, Lindbergh Labs? Um, the Reds, they're really good. It's like a powder that has like all like powdered red things, powdered red vegetables. It's really good. Is that what is that? That is there because that goes over there. Okay, so another part of the pan. Yeah, so with pianos, the one that I saw is actually a Young Chang, which is supposed to be a really good model. Because I've been researching pianos for a while to figure out what I want. Whatever I get, I want a full upright because I want that tone. Tone. And I said I wanted a black one, but this one is like it's oak. It's gorgeous. I was like, yeah, I could live with that. But yeah. So looking at a Young Chang or oh, what was the other one? Or a Yamaha, the one that's the full size, and I can't full size upright, and I can't remember what the model number was offhand, but do you want some pink over here? Then make those green. I'm gonna do it for better or worse. I'm gonna do it. I need to check and see if my game video worked. Oh, excuse me. Where did I go? Here we go. Um, oh, oh, I wasn't sure if it came out of my mouth right because I can't really um oh, some words that consonants and all kinds of things that don't seem like they're coming out my mouth right. So I wind up spelling things just to make sure people know what I said. It's a habit now. I'm changing. I'm changing the. Am I changing to that? Do I really want to do that? Yeah, I think I do. Do I want to do it purple like those? They're kind of different though. I'm making this like so hard. Like it's such a hard decision. It's not a hard decision. It's just a color. It's just a color. So I think tomorrow. Well, I was working on work stuff today earlier, and then I had those 2 appointments. I did a lot of stuff with work today. Tomorrow I need to do laundry, and I need to get some of my clothes for work a little better organized so I can get dressed easier in the morning. And I gotta do some ironing. Ironing. And I also need to find a dry cleaner. Because the one place where we could take our dry cleaning here, I guess it's like a woman that does she does alterations, and so she had an arrangement with somebody who's a dry cleaner, and they like pick up the stuff and then bring it back to her, and then we pick it up from there. I guess her and that person got into a fight. So now, well, now we can't take our dry cleaning to her. So now we got to find somebody else. Child, people getting in fights and things. I'm gonna do this way. Which is a drag. I ain't never lived anywhere where there wasn't a dry cleaners before. Child. And then I found out the other day there's a. I'm thinking, is this where I live? I know it is such a. I try not to have a bad attitude. Really, it's just like there's all kinds of people here. They're not all, I don't know, strange. But I found out there's actually a holiness church that's here. I'm like, really? I'm like, child. I'm like, are they handling snakes and things too? One of those churches where the women can't wear pants. You got to wear, dresses and skirts, and they got to be like down like to your ankles. And it's okay. We're all God's children. I don't know if they think so though, but you know, that's all right. I love them nonetheless. Your brother and sister, your brother and sister in the Lord. You are, you are. The thing is, it's like a white holiness church. That's what I'm like. You only. I feel like you only. I don't know. Maybe I'm sheltered, but I feel like you only hear about those like in the South or in, I don't know, Appalachia or something. What it's doing up here in the North? They may have always been here. I don't know. Almost makes me wonder what would happen if I walked in there with pants on. I don't know. That would be a true test. I'm not trying to go around testing anybody though. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I do wonder what would happen. Ciao. I think too much. Okay, what's going on here? I guess it's underneath. Blah 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 blah. I talk too much. Okay, kind of like that. I don't know what color I want to put with it. I want these to be blue too. So I gotta figure out what movie in my Prime watch list I want to watch. Because I need to get watching. I think it's also time for me to start revisiting my streaming services to kind of cut some out. I wonder when college football starts. It has to be, might be going on now. I don't even know where to watch any of that stuff anymore because of what's happened with, you know, cable and streaming services. It's like everything's like all messed up. You used to be able to turn on your TV and on cable, like on every, whole bunch of channels, you'd be able to find college football. One for this one, that one, the other one. Now I don't even know. No, I haven't watched it, and I don't know if I want to. I don't know. It sounds kind of weird. Not that like I've ever been opposed to weird, but I'm not sure if I want to see it. Especially since I've heard so much about it. Now it's kind of like, hmm, oh. And okay, this is the big part. I don't like what's his name, Michael B. Jordan. I can't stand him. I mean, not as a human being, but like, well, I don't know. I just don't like him. It's like my mother would say about some people. Seems like he's always putting on airs, or he's full of himself. He thinks too highly of himself, or something. And I just can't. I can't get with him. It's like even in Black Panther, I couldn't finish watching that in part because of him. Just some people that just annoy you like that. He annoys me like that. Like, ugh, did you get off of yourself already? So I probably won't until it comes on Tubi. And I'll watch it. Plus, I'm kind of sensitive about watching like race kind of things too. I can get kind of irritated by it. I feel it too hard or something. I don't know. So it's like I haven't watched what is it, Get Out? I haven't watched that either. That movie, which how old is that movie? I haven't watched it just because it just feels too like I don't know. There's something about I don't know like what do they call it, like trauma movies or whatever, cuz like I never watched the movie with Farrah Fawcett burning bed. I mean, I haven't been through that situation, but I can't watch it cuz I don't want to. Oh, it just is, it's disturbing. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't rest and watch it. I'll wind up dreaming about, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll wake up and I won't be rested. I'll be all aggravated and asking myself, it was your dream. Why didn't you punch them out? You could have done what you wanted. Well, I think in part because I heard, like, with Sinners, like, I've heard, stories from my uncles, you know, that from living in the South and them being, like teenagers, and yeah, it makes me think about all that kind of stuff, and I, I'm glad they survived it, and I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to go there. It's something family has lived through, so I don't want to. Mm-mm. And things like betrayal of people that you thought you could trust, and mm-mm. That hits to my heart too much. Like like I said, my uncles and stuff having to go through things like that. It just doesn't. Mm-mm. I can't. It's not a peaceful watch for me. Ooh. And I'm not sure what I want to watch because I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Almost not in the mood to watch anything. I don't want to be like a passive soaker upper of something somebody's given. I don't know. I don't feel like doing that, but I also feel like I need to rest my brain. I've kind of been trying to find something like that. I don't know. I don't know what that would be. I think that's why I watch a lot of why I liked I think that's why I liked watching Wheel of Time because it's not attached to anything in the real world. It's fantasy. So it was kind of if there was anything like real life, there was some distance between that situation and in the things around the scene and the I don't know the physicality of that world and all that kind of stuff. So probably need to watch something fantasy based, but no more Wheel of Time. Can't watch that unless I start over again. But what fun is that? Because I know what's going to happen. I still have to watch Dune, but for some reason I keep backing off from that too. The second movie of Dune. I think in some ways social media is not good for TV or not good for TV and movies because I don't know why, and I don't have anything against Zendaya, but something in me must. Because every time I see they keep showing her in the promos or whatever and stuff, every time I pull it up, it's like, ugh. It's just like, ugh. And I don't not like Zendaya, but it makes me question how good it's gonna be for some reason. I don't know. That's not even right. Like I said, I don't have anything against Zendaya, and I was watching um that show that she was in. I can't remember, and I was watching that on the regular. I watched like I don't know at least one season. I don't know how many seasons are out of it now, but once that one character died, like he was gonna go to jail in the next whatever. Like he was going to jail at the end of the episode, end of the season that I watched. But then in real life, he died of an overdose. I was like, that kind of ruined it for me. It's like I don't want to watch it anymore because now he's not ever coming back. Ugh, just I don't know. There might be something better to the days where you really didn't find out anything about any of these people until years after they were gone. Yeah, there's no more Animal Kingdom, so I can't watch that. But that was starting to get on my nerves only because I don't know, because they're bad people and and you start rooting for these bad people, and that just didn't seem right. Although I heard, I don't know, I guess somebody said, one of the actors said that, yeah, they would be willing to come back for a sequel, which, yeah, I think I would watch, unless it started off like the sequel to Dexter. Ugh, I don't know. I started watching that like a few months ago, forgetting that I had started watching it before when it first came out and stopped because it just looked ridiculous. It's like what worked the first time, it's not going to work now. I wasn't willing to sit there and wait for a payoff. He's still out there fooling people like he's, normal when he's not. And he's trying to protect this facade of his life. It's like, yeah, okay, well, that means you're fake. So, like, am I supposed to like you for that? No, no. The thrill is gone. It's over. We're done. I don't know. If you can figure out what's wrong with me with all this, please let me know because I don't know. I don't know. I just like, why am I developing an attitude over all these TV shows? I don't know. I could be tempted to start watching The Expanse over again. I could be tempted for that. I might be willing for another ride on that one. But with everything else out here to watch, why would I do that? I don't know. There's another thing I thought of because I saw there was a video somebody had on YouTube, kind of like was it like a documentary or some kind of thing about the actor, what's his name? Mick, Mikkel Mickelson. And I remember at one time I was watching movies just because he was in it because he's a really good actor. I think I watched him first in that movie. It's kind of like French Resistance, World War II, Flash and Citron, and he was really good in that. And I started watching some other movies with him in it. Um, I think there's one where like I think he's a preacher and he has a in like I don't know, Sweden or something like that on a countryside, and he takes in um ex-convicts or something like that. And but I can't remember the movie. It was a while ago that I watched it, like years ago. But I remember liking it though. It was funny. It was a comedy. Um so I thought about, because they named a bunch of movies that I hadn't watched that he was in. So I thought about maybe just kind of catching up and watching every single movie he's been in. So I could do that. He was in one of those the Pusher movies that I think they're Danish or something like that. I can't Danish or Dutch or something like that. About a pusher, somebody who pushes dope. kind of like the movie Train Spotting on steroids. But I don't know if I feel like watching that kind of movie either. Not sure what it's time for. Maybe I should just read a book, but then that uses up my eyes. But maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. And I don't know what I'm doing with this. I'm just making things up with this. And we'll just layer and layer. I didn't think I was going to be talking this much because I thought I wasn't in the mood to talk, but I guess I am. Probably could have done that a little neater, eh? I still need to eat, and it's probably almost 6 o'clock. 5:30. What else are we doing with this? We could put purple in it a little bit. Or not. Let me even sharpen this. You have to go check the Animal Kingdom Reddit and see what they're talking about. A bunch of us are stuck on that show, can't get rid of it. Can't get it out of our heads. I didn't do what I wanted it to do. Do I need another blue? Thought I had another blue. Or, you know what? Let's do this. Put the green in there. Probably should do it that direction. Kind of sloppy. It gives me something to work with. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's do the green. Now we can do the green. It's too sloppy with it. Oh, I can use a blender though. I could go and see what other things some of the actors from Animal Kingdom are in and watch that. I'd be interested to see how the guy that plays Pope, how he acts in other things. That might be interesting. Because he really did that part. And now it's like I need to be able to see him some other way. But because like Pope was a very distinct character. So we're just gonna keep putting layers on here. We got waxy buildup. I don't know if I'm keeping BritBox because so far I haven't really found anything on there I want to watch. Oops, what did you do there? Kind of weird. So I probably need to take another look at that and see, do I really want this? Because I got it because I wanted to watch that Brenda Blethyn show, Vera. But I don't like it. I don't like how she's acting in that. I don't like that character. I don't care what happens to anybody in the show at all. That's bad. So when you feel like that, it's like, I need to find something else to watch. Well, that's not too bad. Hmm. Hmm. So what are we doing with these guys? Where's my blue? Excuse me. How long have I been on here? Okay, almost 2 hours. I think I have to, this weekend, I have to catch up on my responses to comments. I haven't been doing that at all because I've been so busy, like getting ready for work and being in my first week of work that I just haven't been able to go there. So it's something I gotta do. I've been watching this woman on YouTube who, she's African American, but she's been living in Ghana, and she kind of, um, I don't know, she had to leave. I don't even know how to say this because I don't want to sound weird or nothing, but um, it's not that she divorced her husband, but she left her husband and where they were living. It's like she's, like, I don't know, she's, I guess you'd say, in a liminal space. She's not sure where she's going, but she's not where she's been. I've been watching her. She's kind of interesting. I didn't really watch it, but I watched one video that Funky Dineva did about the drama with Tamar, and I just liked a comment somebody put under his video last night that she's not she's not anybody's friend. She just isn't. I don't think she knows how to do that. She's a special kind of person. She's not anybody's friend. She annoyed me so much on Braxton Family Values. I just was like, ugh, over the top for no reason at all. And it wasn't even cute. 99% of the time. Extra for nothing at all. But Funky's a real one. And I like how he laid it down. Because basically, yep, Match that energy, wise as a serpent, innocent as a dove. And she rides her little tricycle in circles. She's too old to be acting like that. And how did she? What actually happened? That's what I want to know. Or was she just being dramatic about everything? I don't understand. Okay, that was a random thought, but hey. Hmm. I have stuff left over I can make nachos with, loaded nachos, but I can't chew, so I can't eat it. That kind of sucks. Because I wouldn't mind having that. Because it means I can have an avocado. I can probably eat the avocado, but nothing else. Okay, I don't know if I like what I just did, but it's kind of too late, isn't it? Hmm. Looks kind of lopsided. Mm-hmm. We don't have 2 hours. Oh. Do we want to add another color? Another color. Telling you that color pencil sharpener, man, it does right by these Prismacolor pencils. It really does. Okay, yeah, I'm hungry now. Hmm. So October is when I'm supposed to get that Kirby 20th an- 20th anniversary edition book. We'll find out what's in that. That's all. Oh, I should go and check and see if Lead Farmer. I don't know if anybody watches him. I think he's got his name is Lead Farmer 73. I think is the name of his channel. Child, he had me watching uh uh a pig birthing piglets the other week. I couldn't stop watching. Them little things are so cute, and let's see what they look like now. I don't know if he's taking pictures of them. I don't know what kind of hogs they are, or if they're pigs or hogs or whatever. I don't know what kind they are. They looked kind of different. Some of them were tan with spots. One was all black. Um, some were white with black spots, and there's one that almost looks like a calico. Do they have calico hogs? I don't know. That's what it looked like. It was interesting to watch the mother like get ready for the birth. It was really interesting to watch how she was like kicking away the hay and stuff to make space for the babies to wind up lying in, It was really interesting. I don't know. I feel like tomorrow I may make a pot of soup. So I don't have to think so hard about what to eat or how I'm going to eat. My eyes are tired now. Okay, so I'm going to call it right here and end. Although I'm looking at this like, why is it so... I don't know if that's the color I wanted to do that one. I'm just going to use brown. Something about that was looking funny to me. I don't know why. I don't think that made it better. But anyway, okay, I'm going to head out. Thank you for spending time with me and have a good rest of your night. Take care.